Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first game of day number 2 here on the Swiss stage. And this is going to be the rematch of the wildcards. Boostgate going up against Team Zone.
Oh man, let's see how this one is going to go, because honestly, as much as they want to scale up and play for the late game, I think there's some danger in the late game for Team Zone themselves. The Granger is going to have so much more range available to kind of poke them down before the fights even begin. And we know that with the Hylos and Gato coming back here, it's going to be a bit of an all-in type of fight for the most part.
I am curious about the laning phase, right? Because I think that XC, he's going to be a huge predeterminer of how this first turtle is going to play out. Same goes for Bankai, but the onus is a little bit more on XC only because he's running the Petrify, right? At any time, if he makes a mistake in lane, Bankai could completely throw the next 8 minutes.
Right now for Team Zone, they just want to make sure that Zexora gets as much as possible. It looks like he's not able to get the Little Wanderer, but again, they just got to delay a little bit. If they can go for a fight, if Bankai gets a good catch, then hey, go for it. You got Kenny. Kenny does have that damage once he hits level 4.
If teams don't want to go for fights, though, they better make sure that the fights end quick, because in the early game, a Kimi and a Hylos, that's a lot of like built-in DPS.
Yeah, but we're seeing it right now as Kenny is getting absolutely blasted, forcing Bright to use his Revitalize. Now, Identity did take a little bit of damage and probably will lose a minion coming back into the wave, but that's more than enough to kind of set the tone.
Seeing the emblems here, a bunch of Festival of Bloods. Again, sustain, a very underrated resource in the current meta. For the most part, though, again, the poke damage coming from the Granger is something that Team Zone definitely have to kind of be a bit more concerned about. For now, though, with the revitalized advantage that Boostgate has, I believe they're going to be planning on setting up for a big play.
Here's the big play. The Phantom Execution finds first blood. Kazue, great gank on the mid lane. Trying to get a freeze down there, but unfortunately, Bright was not able to break it in time. RX able to get the bullcrap on his own, and that's the very first stone being thrown into the river.
Yeah, honestly, good engage coming in from Boostgate, both Walker as well as Identity. Make sure that Kenny could not get away, but now Walker gets attacked.
Might be in some trouble here, Rector. Hey, he's still outsustaining all the damage, allowing XE to start chasing Zexora, petrifies him, locks him up, and that's going to be another kill going over to Boostgate. The turtle is down as Bankai is looking for a return trade with the bravest fighter as Bankai jumps forward, luckily able to take out Wacker before he goes down. XE still in trouble, but Kani has got to be careful. K finds one with the help of the flank, and there we have it. They even up the score 4-2-3.
Dude, it didn't seem like Team Zone were going to be able to match up to the early game damage. The Yuzong, the Kimi. But somehow, some way, they kite back long enough that the skills come back up, and on paper at least, they have more burst damage to catch Boostgate Esports off guard. And they did. They walk up afterwards and just got cleaned up.
They got cleaned up hella hard. And now the invasion's coming in from Zexora just to try to get himself ahead. They know that Kazue is ahead, and they need to make sure that Zexora scales at roughly the same amount of time. Glorious Pathway already down, and Kani, thinking the most dangerous path, has to flicker at the very end, but they got the Phantom Execution. Retributions from both jungles are down.
Yeah, I like the way the Team Zone is using their flickers here, where Kenny essentially is just trying to stay safe, and K try to get involved in the fights as much as possible, because even just now at level 4, dealing quite a lot of damage onto Kazue. So I feel like for the next turtle fight, they do have to be careful. RX needs to be able to tell Boostgate whether K is in the lane or actually rotating, because for Zexora, he needs time, he needs space. Bankai can give that right now. And at this point, looking at the damage that K is able to do when no one really has any kind of items, especially the Chastised Pauldron, he's still kind of a threat. Not enough to kill, but definitely enough to make you worry a bit.
Check out this gamble here. No boots from either side. Even XE figured it out, but now Bright in trouble with the Feather Air Train to support him, unable to get out. And now with the AOG gone and a dead body, Identity might just be next on the chopping block, but with War Axe already found, Bankai gets one. XE, he's looking for a little bit more. Gets hit by the turtle boat, and now Wacker is the next to fall with Kenny and Zexora at the back. They are just cutting them down.
Boostgate Esports is overextending so much there. They had the value, they had Team Zone on the back foot, but then they overchase into the big AoE tools. Again, Team Zone are very skill reliant, but Boostgate Esports are chasing so far, it's allowing them to reset on the skills and then set up for a big AoE combo play.
Yeah, and again, like, Team Zone, they're a team that learned from their mistakes. The first interaction XE had with Zexora, he was able to use the Furious Dive alongside the Petrify and lock him out. With Walker trying to buy as much time as possible, giving space for XE to do that again, Zexora saw that coming. So I kind of feel like, yes, what you did was good, but you gotta mix your plays a little bit. You cannot be that predictable against Zexora.
I think for now, Freer's dive already down, and the feathered airstrike coming through. Watker going to die again. No revitalize. He still had 7 seconds left on that clock, and K almost breaking the mid-tier 1. Again, this is working out well for Team Zone, right? They're not giving Boostgate Esports saying, hey, we're just going to react. We also are going to apply pressure.
It's almost like Boostgate Esports feel that pressure, and then it's manifesting itself in them really chasing to try and force Team Zone to fully commit when their skills are down. But with the mobility that's built in, I mean, even K to a degree has some mobility on that carry. So Boostgate Esports are just getting kited a bit too much. They have to rely a bit more on the crowd control. Unless Wactor or Exi gets a decisive catch or engage, I don't really think they have what it takes to kind of move forward slowly but surely.
Yeah, honestly, Boostgate, they can't be one-trick ponies going up against Team Zone here. They got to figure out a different way to engage into a fight. Force out Zexora to use the Traceless first and then get onto him.
Oh, they waited for the right time. They managed to get the stun onto Kazue, forcing him to back out. However, it did come at the cost of the Dragon Boat. And now that they're looking across the map, right, the quick lane swap as well. Kazue, luckily, is maintaining his lead against Zexora, but that top side, K, they're not stopping. They're sacrificing turrets just to get him ahead.
And the thing is, right now, as long as Team Zone is able to control Exi, they're all good. Because Exi is the real threat for Team Zone. He doesn't even have to get those kills. He just has to be, I would say, give vision as well as lock down either Zexora or K. Lockdown for 2 seconds is more than enough for Boostgate to follow up.
And now here we go, Bravest Fighter, Kazue able to secure the turtle. Feather airstrike out and cancel. Exi petrifies him and now is on the chase. The Furious dives go nowhere as Zexora is going to take him out. Bankai actually finds it. The help of the AOG cutting them off. Watker cannot just run through that fire. Really good play coming in from Team Zone.
Boostgate Esports just don't have enough damage. Exi there, he got the full-on rotation onto Kenny, and still, even without the Feather Airstrike zoning away Identity and RX, they just seem so behind that RX and Identity themselves don't really have a lot of damage, even when they're left to their own devices.
But Lafel, what do you think? Because in that fight itself, usually what we're used to seeing is when you wombo combo, you kind of do it at the same time, but the layering of the Feather Airstrike, then the AOG to cut them off. What do you think about that?
Well, we're going to be looking at an instant replay here to see the play that Boostgate attempted. But again, retaliate pretty well by Team Zone. They got the turtle, but looking at the movements here, it does look like they're not all on the same page. Exi understands his job as the EXP, trying to stop Kenny, but then the rest of the team, especially Identity, was far enough away, zoned out by Team Zone, making it so that Boostgate engages does not look clean at all. They don't have enough damage because this Granger, after the nurse, oh, hold on. Oh,
Feather Strike, gonna take out Exi. Glorious Pathway was already thrown out, but again, Whacker just could not close the distance to cancel it out. Not enough HP.
Yeah, just to make it very simple, Boostgate needs to play around Exi. When Exi goes in, he, in a way, understands that he will die, but you guys got to retaliate. RX with 0 stacks on that Sky Piercer really made it so that Boostgate does not have enough damage.
They have to follow up somehow, some way. Even if they can't really go in and get a kill or a big catch off it, especially Kazue, I feel like he and Exi need to coordinate and figure out who's doing what. Who's actually going to try and jump towards K or Kenny, who's zoning, who's actually going for the kill. Because as of right now, it seems like everyone is playing template and Team Zone are getting a read on who's actually doing what from Boostgate Esports.
Yeah, I think especially for Team Zone, a team that is from a region that's notorious of downloading their opponents, they've got templates for days. This is atypical of how a team should be moving around the map.
Honestly, one thing that they can do is look at Bright. If Bright already used the Unbreakable, let Kazue go in, right? Go on a solo mission, make them panic, and then once everyone panics, a lot of abilities have been used, then XC goes in. We understand that it's usually the roam or the EXP, but there's not much tools that Team Zone can use to punish this Lancelot. So I kind of feel like he has to be the initial distraction and then come back in as the cleanup.
All right, let's balance the odds here because now we're seeing a contestation for the potential Lord. Level 13 on Kazue. He can use the Phantom Execution, get in, potentially out, and Team Zone, they know as well. It's not worth contesting it here. This is the worst possible fight that we could take because if we all get executed here, it's over. And now they jump Bravest Fighter next for Bankai with the help of the Feathered Airstrike, and unfortunately, it's just raw peel for the Black Dragon forming. XC goes in, Revitalize keeps them alive, and Sora takes them out as K attacks the backline. Double kill, already found the AOG, cuts out Kazue for a double on Zexora. T2's now a threat.
Almost a complete wipeout here for Team Zone. K on the carry again with all his teammates pressuring the members of Boostgate. There's nothing left for the punish. He flickered forward there and had his eyes straight on Identity, immediately deleting him with the fadeaway. And just like that, Team Zone now are definitely in the lead, and they're going for the Lord.
Oh, this is so frustrating, especially for RX, right? No deaths, you've been farming the whole game, you've got the items, but you can't stack up the Sky Piercer.
Honestly, this is why Team Zone is pretty scary. The more losses that they experience, the stronger that they're going to get, because, again, they love the game. They make sure that every single time they hang in one room and then figure out what went wrong and make sure that they don't do that again. In terms of what Boostgate is doing wrong, honestly, is just that this is a very difficult draft for them to pilot, especially because we only been spamming the Hayabusa. The good thing that Team Zone banning out that Hayabusa, because we is good on the landslot, but definitely it's like the entire team is not used to this kind of playstyle.
Yeah, no, they need to kind of wait for Kazuya to get in position first. It's not as easy compared to Hayabusa, who can hop over walls. They want to make sure that Kazuya can get in and out pretty safely, so they're just going to have to wait for his call. I think, personally, for me, right now we need to see a little bit from Identity to slow him down, but we'll try to see, because so far the front to back does not look good.
There's so many limited control tools available for Boostgate. The Team Zone is completely abusing it.
Oh, okay, all right. Just 3 ults already being utilized. 4 ults as well, trying to clear up these waves, make sure the inhibitors are going to stay alive as Xora finally hits his item power spike in the BOD.
Yeah, honestly, I agree with you. Identity needs to be able to do something, but can he? Oh, hold on.
Oh! Getting a little dangerous there, but Bankai, he's already engaged. He's already got the Lance player, and the Brave is fighting against it. Double kill for Brian of all players as he flickers forward to catch more. The hunt is over, and Team Zone have minions. The Crystal, the last whole Identity. Can he clear those minions up? No, they don't give him a chance. And even with the AOG, it just ain't enough. That's GG, well played for Team Zone.
Absolutely dominant showing there. Not a single step backwards from Team Zone. They are the danger, and even when the big ultimates are popped, are used by Boostgate, they just take it straight up.
Yeah, and honestly, this Farsa coming in from Kenny is also quite a big problem. The man you see on screen here